If you're not feeling up for a full day's worth of digging and crafting in Minecraft, you could always just try, stealing from your friends. Multiplayer worlds are great to test out some sneaky traps and pranks, as well as test your friends' skills by seeing if they can stop you from stealing stuff. This is especially important on a PvP server, which is where Sub is logged into today. He really wants to try out some of his strategic new methods against other players. Hopefully, he won't get caught. And this will teach you a few tricks you didn't know before. Let's go find some high-level players with lots of valuable items, Sub. Here on a PvP server, anything goes, so players have to be on the lookout. Sub has gathered a little bit of gear so that he's not completely defenseless. Luckily, he stumbled across a pro player and followed him back to his secret castle. I'm sure there's plenty of loot in there, but how to steal it? Number 1. Sub could try the regular method. Just sneak in and take it from the chest. Fairly basic, but it's tried and tested and requires very minimal effort and no items. You just have to be careful. Watch out for the player and get to the chest. Make sure to crouch when possible to hide your nameplate. The one problem with this method is that the chest is going to make a noise when you open it. In which case, you may be caught red-handed if the player has the audio turned up. Time to get running! Number 2. The next method is a little more sneaky and a lot less dangerous. You're gonna need a tough fist or a shovel and a pick for this one. Look through any window you can, or try to locate the furnaces when you visit their house. Find a location far enough away from the base where the players can't see you. Dig down and start mining towards the house. Make sure not to mine too quickly as you approach the house, just in case you alert the player or they become suspicious. Mine up so that you're directly under the furnace. From here, you can right-click and steal any smelted items. This method can still be really risky, and I personally wouldn't recommend doing this to the chests, as an update made it possible to see the block underneath them. And also, opening from underneath will still activate the chest noise and animation. 3. Hoppers are one of the only blocks in Minecraft that can interact with chests. Hoppers can actually suck things out from the bottom and transfer them elsewhere. Sub has crafted a few hoppers using the little iron he had. Dig a tunnel or find a cavern somewhere under the player's house, and then start to dig up. You're gonna want to find their chest, then place a few hoppers down in a row, leading to wherever you want to place your chest. You can use all sorts of redstone to make this less obvious, but the end result will still be the same. Any items will slowly be taken and placed in your chest at the bottom. Easy peasy. Number 4. For his next attempt, Sub has brought along a friend. Sometimes thieves work in pairs, and so they've made a pact to split the loot equally once they find it. Sub and the other player have made a plan. Go to the front door of the house and distract the player, while another goes around the back door and raids all the chests. This is another risky strategy, as the player could turn around at any second, but it's Sub's partner's job to keep the player talking, and maybe even beginning a chase to get him away from the house. Now you can grab the loot, Sub. Just make sure to not get caught again. Number 5. Distractions can always be a handy method of getting players' attention. There's plenty of dangers and destructive forces that players would like to keep away from. Sub wants to distract this player, but isn't too sure how to do it. And he has a number of blocks to choose from. Well, the list is as follows. He could lead some creepers into the house. He could spawn a wither. But Sub has settled on using some good old-fashioned TNT. Hopefully killing all of those creepers was worth it. Now just rig up a long line of redstone and activate from afar. With the player gone, you're free to raid to your heart's content. Just make sure that the player actually heard the explosion. Number 6. Next up is a more advanced strategy. Potions are an excellent way of getting to hard-to-reach places, or for surviving combat and hard battles. One of Sub's favorites is the invisibility potion, although it's really hard to brew. He'll need nether wart, a carrot, and a water bottle to brew a night vision potion. Then, combining that with a spider eye will give you invisibility. Drink the potion far away from the player, and then feel free to walk right on over. Make sure you take off your armor first. Sub, take off your armor! What are you doing? And now you can walk around just taking anything you want. Feel free to even mess around with them a little. Just don't be too noticeable, or they may spot your particles. Number 7. Minecraft has 2 fundamental aspects, mining and crafting. You craft so much stuff in this game, and your valuable resources can be used in many recipes. But did you know the sneaky trick you can pull on friends to steal their items? Sub has snuck up on this player at the camping site. It looks like they're gonna craft an enchantment table for their bookcases. By destroying the crafting bench while they're crafting, all the other items will drop, and you can grab them and run. You may get an arrow in the back, but it's worth it for those sweet, sweet diamonds. Number 8. Sub enjoys building traps. He loves a good trap. And this time around, he's decided that a lava pit should do just fine. Killing the player should be your last option if you want to be sneaky. But if you do it right, it can send the player all the way back to spawn and give you plenty of time. Realistically, you could use any sort of simple trap here, as long as you can set it up in time for the player returning. Watch as the player, who only went to check the mine for 5 minutes, now has to walk all the way back from spawn. Just make sure the base isn't already at spawn. Sub? Behind you. Number 9. Another simple method, but again, very effective. As you know, many players are friendly and will team up with you. Take Sub's friend from earlier, and he actually has a lot of valuable items himself and stores them all in shulker boxes. Uh-oh, Sub has had a terrible idea. He can easily betray this person, taking all of the stuff with him. Shulker boxes also hold heaps and heaps of items, so breaking these is a lot more effective than breaking regular chests. But you wouldn't do that to him, would you, Sub? Wow, Sub. And number 10. Sub has had a lot of fun today and has earned himself a large batch of supplies. And he's thrown them into his very secret storage area. And now he has one last devious plan. The most brutal so far. And all he needs is a really sharp weapon and a victim with a pet. All players value their Minecraft pets. Some even more than the very armor on their backs. Sub has decided he's going to kidnap this player's unsuspecting pet animal and hold it hostage with an enchanted diamond sword. The dog's life for every valuable the player has. It looks like it's working. He wants to save his pet. Sub, you're so cruel. But now you've got pretty much all the valuables of every player on the server. I think you can call it a day.